All right, so a few people have been asking me for a bit of a tutorial on how to do the one ball MoKnuckle play that I do quite often on some of my Instagram videos, and also when I'm playing MoKnuckles, I often break into this style of flow as well, where I just hold one ball and have the other ball in between, and I'm flowing the second ball around in between my hands in various ways. So there's you can do this using a one ball setup like this, or a two ball MoKnuckles where you're just holding one ball and the second ball is in the middle. The MoKnuckle setups that I sell in my shop are a little bit heavier than the MoKnuckles balls, and that just gives them a little bit more momentum for this style of play. And it also lets you swing the end grips around with a little bit more momentum because it's, again, slightly heavier end grips. There's a variety of different styles of play that I've worked out, and there's so much more to be discovered with this. One of the basic styles involves just swinging the ball in between the hands, and you can sort of look for the opportunities to switch your hand position, kind of leading the ball up and over, like that. Okay, that's a very kind of slowed down and crude motion, but it's the same thing I'm doing here. And you can, finesse it a little bit by, like, if you move your hands around in a more kind of exaggerated way, it can look awkward, but it can also kind of give a little bit of an isolation kind of illusion effect. Another thing that I often will do in this style is if I'm coming around, I'll just kind of grip the string and make it orbit over like that. So there's lots of ways to loop the string. Another one of the basic moves that I'll do is I refer to it in one of the MoKnuckles tutorials as a virtual stall. So you kind of hop the ball over, and there's nothing particular stopping it there except that it runs out of string. And then you hop it over and just change the hand positions, and you can give it some tension. So you can stall it and go back and forth. And again, you see how I'm switching the hands. So to get the ball moving, I'll pull this hand down. That kind of forces the ball over that hand. And then my hands are kind of crossed right now, and I can uncross them and then just bounce it back. And so the trick here is to find ways to cross and uncross the hands in ways that will let you create this kind of upward movement on the string, so that the ball will kind of hop over one of the hands. So, I obviously can't keep going to my left here. I have to kind of hop it over to the right. And so if I put this hand down, this hand up, it will kind of whoop like that. If I do it too slow, it doesn't look good. You have to kind of get a bit of a swing going and hop it over. So, and it'll hang on the string for a moment, but if you're too slow, it starts to droop down, and then you've kind of lost it. Again, here I will often kind of trap the string with one hand and kind of create an extra little bloop with the string. Okay, and that's you can do that in both directions. So you might want to watch this video on half speed or something like that to get a little bit more of a feel for the movement, but I can only slow it down so much and still maintain momentum. So I'm breaking it down as much as I can. All right, but you can do lots of different kind of virtual stalls here. There you can kind of get a bit of a walking motion. And again, this stuff doesn't look that great in isolation, but if you're mixing it up between styles, you can get some nice variety. Okay, another thing you can do, I just did it there, is release one of the grips, and you can get a bit of a orbiting happening there. Probably won't stay in frame here, but you can kind of do this indefinitely, hopping the string around. And then you can retrap it anytime and go on with your life. I like to do that on the back of one of these little flips. You can get a little bit fancier with it. Okay, whoop, there it is. And then another style of play that I developed more recently is if you grabbed both of the ends in one hand and you've got the heavier ball swinging down there, you can do some neat things that it's just a variation of the virtual stalls, but it looks very cool and kind of springy to do this type of thing with this setup. So all I'm doing there is the same virtual stalls that I just demonstrated, but I'm going back and forth between the two different strings with this one finger to stall it and hop it over. And I'm, again, watch my hand position. The right hand will be up sometimes and then down sometimes, depending on where I need it to be to get the momentum on the string. So I'm just repeating the same motion here. I'll do it back and forth a bunch of times. So if you want to try it, you can try and mimic it. So it just looks like that. Then you can get a little fancier. It gets a little tricky here not to cross this, or to do it without crossing the strings over each other. There you are. And then getting out of it, lots of ways you can get out of it. Oop. Oh, missed it there. Anyways, hope that is a little bit helpful for getting you started on the MoKnuckle. But yeah, I'll try and put together some more systematic tutorials with some other styles, but and there's lots of undiscovered styles here. Anyways, that's it for today.